This is where the fun begins.
Clear eyes, full hearts, can't lose.
King Kong ain't got shit on me!
Oh my God! Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm!
Say my name.
And here we go.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Realish. I am Derrick.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Binaca.
Good to see you guys. Welcome back. It feels like it's been a second.
Yeah. I was
a second. Yeah.
I was thinking about that. Yeah, it's good to see you guys.
Yeah, you too. Today's episode we're gonna do another director's cut. This is Bianca's brainchild, of course. But this episode we're gonna be covering Wes Anderson later on. But we're gonna get into some news right before that. So Matt, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, let's get into this. So right out of the gate, we have a bit of an interesting trend going on. So basically out of nowhere on TikTok, in preparation for Minions: The Rise of Gru, can't believe I'm saying that, people started going to theaters, specifically in the United Kingdom, wearing suits. And this has gotten so bad to where, one, the movie became the highest grossing box office for 4th of July weekend ever, for Independence Day weekend, right? And the second is theaters in the UK started banning the wearing of suits because like people in the audience were getting way too rowdy. And yeah, so you're basically prohibited from wearing suits indefinitely until this whole craze dies down. So
I don't get it, but the videos are funny.
I haven't seen any.
Really?
So they're just wearing just regular suits like they're Gru?
Yeah.
Or Minions as well?
No, just straight suits. Like
Men in Black style, like
yeah.
suits. Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
I saw one girl who like tricked her family into doing it. I guess she said that they were going somewhere really nice and they needed to dress up, and then they ended up at this kids movie. So I've only, like I said, now that Matt said that the trend is in UK, it makes more sense why it hasn't, like, because I'm on TikTok a lot. TikTok started doing the thing that Apple does where it tells you how much time you spend on TikTok. And I'm like adamantly trying to just purge myself of that information daily because it's really bad. But I'm like, why hasn't it come to me? Maybe I'm just not cool or hip yet. But now that I know it's UK based, it makes more sense.
Yeah. I'm interested. Well, see, I remember when Dark Knight came out, everybody was dressing up like, yeah, I'm sorry. But when that came out, everybody was dressing up like Joker, and that also ended up being a bad thing. So I'm assuming that's probably why they're going toward this route with banning.
Yeah, I mean, to my knowledge, I haven't been any like extreme cases, but there just been like isolated incidents in different cinemas. So out of concern for possible destruction, or I mean, I don't know a single person who's going to pick a fight with somebody next to them watching a Minions movie, but you never know. It's just to sort of mitigate those concerns. But it's just hilarious in hindsight that they banned clothing when that doesn't stop someone's behavior. Like they can still come back to the theater, assuming you haven't banned that person, to do what they were doing before. I just found their measures to be so weird,
That's interesting.
Yeah.
How many movies are there? Minion movies.
Series?
Like that's that.
I think this is 5.
We have
5
3.
right.
I think we have 3 Despicable Me's, the Minions movie, and I think Rise of Gru is. I think Rise of Gru is the 5th. Or did they have?
There's 2 Minion movies.
Are there?
This is the second. Yeah, the Rise of Gru is like the second of that. Yeah.
That's crazy. They're funny little movies, though.
They're good.
Despicable Me is a good little funny movie.
It is. I want to actually go back and watch it. You know what?
There are
I'm an
worse kids
advocate.
movies, okay?
There are, and I'm an advocate for more animation. I
Yeah,
love animated films
me too.
anyway, so it would be good to see more.
Yeah, and not that I don't love Pixar, but you know, with Pixar, you're gonna get something heartwarming. You're gonna get a
Mhm,
story at the end. You're gonna get something
mhm,
that pulls at your heartstrings. You
yeah,
don't always want that when you see animated.
nah,
Sometimes you just want a good time. And
yeah,
I think Despicable Me is that. I think it's so funny. I think that I can't even remember who was in pop culture who was. I think it was like a rapper like Gunna wore like a tracksuit or something, and they said that that man looked like he was about to go steal the moon because he looked like the guy from the second one that wore the little orange track. Like it's just
yeah,
it's
Oh,
funny,
was it
yeah.
Vector?
It's funny that it's culturally relevant. You know, it's just one of those funny little movies.
yeah.
Yeah. I think in to throw shade Sony's way, they use like their social media campaign to convince people, like how like Morbius gained that huge, like everyone kept saying like hashtag Morbius sweep everywhere.
Hmm.
They kept helming it as like the best comic book movie of all time. Like
Mhm.
those were obvious jokes, and
Yeah.
Sony tried to cater to that fan base,
Yeah.
if you want to
Mhm.
call it, right? So they re-released Morbius in theaters. It made
Oh
$19,000. It
yeah.
made $19,000 when it debuted on a Friday. So it became
For
a
just
flop
one
again.
day. Oh, that was a
They want
weekend.
they re-released it in 1,200 theaters, and in that time, it made $19,000.
Yeah, it's
And then you look at this, right? Because
much.
this started like the whole suit trend. I think this is to be August 22. I saw nothing of it
Yeah.
until a day or two before the release.
Right.
At least for us, anyways. I know like countries have their separate release dates, so I was like, this is just like a weird. So I thought there was like a specific content creator doing it. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
whatever, making a joke. And then it was like the next content creator, the next, and the next, and the next, and the next. And it felt like, and this wasn't organized. Like no one had like a plan to go
Right.
out to do this. It just randomly, spiraled out
I
of
mean,
control. And this movie's, ridiculously successful now.
yeah,
You
I
know,
was I heard that it was one of the worst ones of the series.
I
But
wouldn't be surprised. I mean, it's
yeah,
there's only so much you can do with the story at some point.
yeah. I mean, but if they're making this much money,
Right.
that ain't gonna stop that's what DreamWorks. That's not gonna stop
Yeah.
them from making another. I mean, they're gonna. I see. That's also my problem. I think we discussed this before. But that's also my problem with movies coming out on a 3-day weekend, because now the box office, or 4-day weekend. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
Um, it skews the numbers
The numbers,
for,
yeah, the data.
yeah, that, so I don't know. I mean, good for them. Good for them. It's free advertisement though.
yeah.
Right.
I mean,
everybody's making more money. Why not let them do it?
yeah.
Like it's just like, is it something like just a quirky trend? I mean,
Yeah.
for a cute little funny movie.
Yeah, and that of course leads into a conversation for another day, which is the influence of social media. And it sort of begs the question too, had the social media existed, let's say back in the 60s, 70s, 80s, where some of these classic films didn't do financially well, would they have been made more successful if social media wasn't around? I think that's sort of an interesting conversation to have. But
yeah,
out of all
I would think so.
movies, Minions Rise of Gru.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Illumination. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, that's interesting. Good for them though. Good for
Yeah,
them.
yeah. And to move on, Michael Mann has confirmed in the Empire interview that he does have Heat 2 movie plans. Apparently, the original was based off of a novel. I think since then, a separate novel came out, which served as a prequel and a sequel, to its predecessor. And so I sort of want to get both of your thoughts. I know, before the podcast started, me and Bianca outright said we'd never watched Heat before. Derrick is the opposite. So to inform
Derrick was
us,
16 when the movie came out, as
Yeah.
opposed to the two of us. So
Yeah.
he was in the theater.
Yeah.
Were you there? Yeah, you were
Horse
there.
and buggy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Yo, that's hilarious.
It
Yeah.
dropped in 95.
Yeah, 90. I think it was 95, somewhere in that range.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. No, I
Wow.
think it's so they came out with another book that's a prequel and a sequel. So that
Yeah.
that would make two movies then, right?
Um, Theoretically, I think it's coming out. So I phrase it incorrectly. So the novel is coming out August 18th. I just think Michael Mann is obviously like aware it's been in development for however long, and so if he were to, I'm not sure if he has to. I'm assuming he has to like approach whatever studio owns the rights, or like a studio has to acquire the rights to the book. He just said, I'd be open to doing that, to revisit that, that story he made, or he brought to the big screen rather. So
Yeah.
is that something you're interested in, or is it sort of, something you'd rather be left alone?
I mean, it depends on how it's done. I forgot the story, to be completely honest. So I don't remember how it ended. Um, but if it's done the right way, I'm cool with it. What I just don't want to see is them use de-aging software on Val Kilmer and Robert De Niro
Yeah.
and uh oh my god, Robert
Did you say Al
Robert De
Pacino?
Niro,
Al
Al
Pacino,
Pacino.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to see that de-aging.
Yeah, because that was
for them.
not good in House of Gucci. Y'all could have kept that.
Yeah.
Or the
See, I never
Irishman?
watched it.
Yeah, or
The
the
Irishman was
Irishman.
horrible.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Y'all
I-
could have kept that.
Yeah, I think I said it's funny because like I said, you can make someone look as young as they can, but you
Mhm.
can't make them move as young as they were.
Yeah.
And that was prevalent in a lot of scenes.
It's like you guys are making noises every time you get up,
Yeah.
every time you sit down, and every time you like move any part of your body, like which is what we
Yeah.
all do once we hit over the age of like 25. It's like your body
Pretty
just
much.
breaks down. So
Yeah.
like I'm all for people working, I'm all for older adults working, but I just if the story is not there, if it's not good, we do not need to put these old men in there for nostalgia purposes.
Nah. And that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah.
Because if they do that, I don't want to see it. Just
People
leave me
really
with
act
the
like they can't pop their old movies back into the DVD player and watch
some
them.
movies don't need to be
Yeah.
expounded on. The stories just need to stay where they are. It's fine if you leave the opportunity at the end of the film to make a sequel if it's that successful,
Right.
but it doesn't need to be that. Like and there's one movie that Jet Li did called The One, that at the end of it opened up the door for a sequel.
Mhm.
But I'm telling you right now, I don't want to see that.
Right.
I do not want to see that. So I just leave it alone. Leave it alone if it's not done the right way. If it's done the right way and it's just a prequel,
With that.
cool. I don't want to see a sequel though. I really don't, because you now Al Pacino has to be like close to 85. Robert De Niro has to be around the same age.
That's
And
facts.
I don't even know who made it through the movie, to be completely honest. I like it's one of those things where just leave it alone to me. Leave it alone.
A prequel sequel is also ambitious as well because I mean, how do you structure it, right? It's not the same as a book, because a book you can very easily have the first half be prequel-esque and then seeping into the sequel. The problem is you still have the original heat.
Yeah.
So like, how do you that's sort of a difficult. I'm assuming that's probably difficult for the writer. I'm not sure if they're the original writer for the Heat novel, and then yeah, so it's a massive undertaking, especially because I feel like Heat is very ingrained in the film culture. So you messed up the sequel prequel.
Right.
You better watch your back. Not threatening anybody. I'm just saying, you already know how wild people get on social media. So
yeah. I if you have not seen it, watch it. The movie is amazing, but yeah,
I don't need another one.
I don't see it. I don't see it. Again, I don't remember the end of the film, so I mean, maybe that's it. But I just don't want to see these old guys doing. I don't want to see that.
That's
like
how I feel.
Robert De Niro is, and both De Niro and Pacino are at the age where you just want to see them support in the movie. You don't want you don't need to see them like,
Be front and center.
Yeah.
yeah, we don't need to see that. We don't need to see that. They have great comedic timing in different films. Let's just see that, see them support. That's it. Because the
Oh,
Irishman was just
yeah. Oh, this one had Val Kilmer in it too.
mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was just telling them before we started I went to go see Top Gun. So now he's like fresh on my mind.
Yeah, that was a pleasant cameo. I'm glad.
Yeah. He was in it just enough too. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
That's enough.
I'm glad that despite his his health conditions,
Yeah.
that he was able to. He suffered from throat cancer.
Yeah.
I think he's
Really?
I think he's been cancer free since a few years ago, but his voice is has been permanently affected. So I think they had to like digitally alter his voice, make it sound like in the original. But it was nice of him to be able to come back, and Tom was a huge advocate for that.
And they did a good job.
Yeah,
with it. Yeah.
He said, "I'm
perfect.
I'm not doing this movie if Val Kilmer isn't coming back."
Good.
So that was his number one of his many demands, understandable demands. Is Val Kilmer. So last but not least, Taron Egerton as Wolverine is a possibility all of a sudden. I know he's been in conversation with Marvel. He's been promoting this new show called Blackbird on Apple TV. Interviewer just happened to ask him, have you, what would you be interested in doing? Like, is Marvel something interested in? And I think his answer was something along the lines of, I'm aware of it. I'm not sure if he specifically confirmed that he was talking to them, but I think, because you already know how the media tends to, twist their words, because he can easily phrase in the way of, I would like to talk to them. And the first thing you see on the headline is, Taron Egerton confirms that he's been talking with Marvel Studios about a secret role, But yeah, is that something you guys want? Because I feel like Hugh Jackman is that character, and anybody who takes up that mantle is going to be under a lot of pressure. Is he one of your first choices, or if he does end up being cast as him, would that sort of fill your Hugh Jackman void, or is that just forever open? Sorry.
I feel like I'm focusing on him too much physically. Like I can't see him being like the jacked up Wolverine. But then I'm just like, I feel like acting wise, I feel like he could do it though. I don't know. But again, like I'm trying to think of other people that are sort of on that same wave that could possibly do it. And I don't think he's a bad choice. Like with all of the popular young white actors, they definitely could have gone with someone a lot worse than him. We could have had Timothy Chalamet's Wolverine. So I'm not mad about my boy.
I don't know anything about him. But yeah, looking at him, he does not strike me as Wolverine. He really doesn't. Now, Tom Hardy is the only one, but I mean, he's already in the MCU, so I don't really see how you do that.
And I feel like they want somebody younger.
They do.
And you can't do Tom Hardy. We'll just stay with who we had. Yeah. I'm trying to think of other like, the guy he's playing in the Barbie movie. He plays in Sex Education on, I'm gonna find his name.
Is it Butterfield?
Is that him? Who I'm thinking of?
Or are you referring to? Because I don't know many actors from that show.
Connor Swindell.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
Physique wise, that's who I would think of. Taller, bigger, muscular, but I don't see him being an action hero. But again, like if you're gonna go with like a B-list celebrity who I think could do it, there's some more people you could grab from, especially British. There's some people you could grab from.
Okay. How tall is this guy?
He's
touching like 6 foot.
Yeah,
I think he's
over 6 feet. I think.
If he's 6 foot, I thought it's like by a small margin, because I thought he was like 5'11", which is Wolverine in the comics. So I think that's why people are so fixated on his. Yeah, he's 5'9".
Oh,
so he's 2
oh
inches.
really?
Who is? Connor?
Taron Egerton.
Oh, Terrence.
Oh no,
Okay.
Taryn. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
Connor.
So they're probably looking for somebody as short as Wolverine and
he's
younger.
6 feet even. Connor's
feet,
6
yeah.
feet even.
Yeah.
I don't think he might be able to do it. The chiseled jawline, I'm seeing it. I'm convincing myself.
I'm looking at him. I'm not seeing. Trying to put the mask on him. It's not.
No.
Not fully giving.
I need like a list of other people like him and like who kind of fit that role.
Taryn isn't giving. Is it?
Yeah, he's not giving it.
He's just not doing it. But look, they have to figure it out soon because, you know, MCU is here in that phase now. So
yeah, but they
we're
like
talking about mutants.
love messing up X-Men. It's their favorite thing to
That's
do.
Fox. That's
Fox.
That's not Disney.
No, we don't blame Disney.
That's
we
not-
wait.
Look
We
at
wait.
you guys. Okay.
No, we don't do that. We don't do that. We
Now,
wait
if
until the
Disney-
first
now-
movie comes out, and then
If Disney
talk our
messes
shit.
this up,
Okay.
I don't want to see a live action X-Men ever again.
because yeah.
That's the
I
one we know
blame
who
messed it
passes
up.
Magneto.
I blame Disney for a lot of things. So I'll hold my tongue when it comes to X-Men because we don't know if they're gonna screw it up or not.
but
I don't even
casting, they tend
honestly
to get right.
I don't even think they're making a movie. Like they're probably not developing anything right now. I feel like
Probably
they're not. There's no way.
I mean,
I feel like X-Men is like at the lowest. If they're developing it, is at the lowest priority.
yeah,
And if they're going to announce something, it's gonna be like an X-Men character or that animated series that they're doing. That's probably gonna be it.
my theory has been that they were going to introduce Storm in Black Panther.
Oh
Um,
yeah,
That was my theory, but
I did too. I thought that they were gonna.
if you're not, well, we don't know what Black Panther 2 is going to look like. So we might have a Black Panther. And if they do have a Black Panther, that's the only way I want to see that take place. I want to see Storm introduced in that film so that we can then progress and build the X-Men. Like building the X-Men is going to be interesting because they could possibly just introduce specific characters one by one,
Yeah.
you know, in different projects and then, you know, bring them all
Right.
together later on down the line.
That's true.
Which would be a phenomenal way to do it because you're
Especially because like the X-Men are like supposed to be among us, sort
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Is the premise who's really, you know, mutant and who's not. So that's actually a
Yeah.
really good idea to have just them kind of sprinkled in.
sprinkle in
Because it would make sense that they would be kind of living in these different places because they, you know, are adaptable like that.
yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
mad with
I want
that.
to see it like that.
Would you guys want them to be in the 616 or do you want them to be in a separate Earth? Because I feel like it's getting overcrowded. The whole Earth is getting
Multiverse.
overcrowded. You know what I mean? Because I feel like, but then again, you know, because like you're gonna have to find an excuse for like the multiverse to come together. And
Yeah.
you're probably gonna have like Charles Xavier interact with like an Iron Man variant or Reed Richards
Mhm.
once.
Mm-hmm.
When that's not like, I mean, one, that probably lowers their chances of ever interacting, and then two, you know, like it's also cheapens out like, oh, they're on a different Earth the entire time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then
yeah.
the counter to that is, well, where if the let's say the show or whatever, let's say a show takes place in the 60s, where have
Mhm.
they been this entire time? Oh, they're on a different planet, or oh, they were actually in the
Mhm.
cells the entire time and opted not to help people in need. Like that's why it's
Yeah.
kind of that's
It
why it's
is.
getting. I think either way, you're gonna have people dislike their creative decision. That's what
Yeah.
happened with Eternals. A lot of people didn't like Eternals because they were on Earth, and you know they had to come up with a reason why they didn't, you know, like face off against Thanos or
Mhm.
face off against Loki's invasion. You know.
There's so many more reasons to hate Eternals.
Yeah, that's
Truly.
the lowest.
That should be at the bottom of the poll, with the totem pole, when it comes to the reasons why.
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
the greatest Marvel movie, actually. No, yeah, no. That's Infinity
It
War.
was weird seeing Professor X and Doctor Strange.
That's what I was about to ask you
It
guys.
tripped me up a little bit.
Because I loved seeing him.
Yeah.
Now seeing him in
Yeah.
his actual wheelchair,
Yeah.
like that was phenomenal. But my problem is Patrick Stewart is up there in age. If we are going to go forward with his Charles Xavier, how long do we have him for?
So, probably never again. I'm gonna be. I'm probably gonna be blunt when I say that because that was the '90s cartoon. So that wasn't the. Well, you know that already, sir. Honestly, you obviously know that already. So, he's, it's that, so
They did kill
and
him.
then
They did kill him.
they kill him off. So
Yeah.
I think it was probably Patrick Stewart's way of saying, like, I can get around it because that's not my Fox version.
Yeah.
That's somebody different. If they do recast him, I just don't. I don't know. I don't even know if he wants that, to be honest. I think that was like that was his limit. I feel like because you commit to retiring from a character, yeah, it's exciting for fans. It's also exciting for you to revisit him, but it also gets to a point too where you want to explore different options as an actor. And I know Marvel has sort of shifted the way you do contracts now. So instead of committing to like 5 different projects at once, you just sign up for one, and then they say, "Hey, do you want to do 2 more? Do you want to do another?" Like, that communication is there. So maybe. Oh God, I contradicted myself. So probably is a way for him to return. I don't know, but you go ahead. Yeah,
You could always make it work.
I think it could work because of the fact that you have all these variants, right? Like we saw Reed Richards get sliced up. We know he's coming. I was just that was
Forgot about that.
That was where I lost it. Seeing him just appear, and I don't know how I avoided all these spoilers. I'm so glad I did because I was expecting to see Deadpool in this.
Oh yeah.
So everybody kept talking about, that something. Okay, that's been messed up. So when I saw him appear and it was John Krasinski,
yeah,
that was.
I forgot about that.
John was freaking the hell. Like I can't. Like I was sitting next to him, he was like, "Oh my god,
yeah,
oh my god," like, you know how it gets.
Yeah,
all of us get when you see the characters.
I was just glad to see him. So apparently I know we're going to. That was a nice Fantastic Four suit, by the way. But we are going to get a Fantastic Four film, which I'm glad about. But
yeah,
I'll be honest, I didn't like that suit.
You didn't?
I like
better than what we've seen. Fox was horrible.
Okay, so what I'll put it this way. I think if they gave us the material from the Fox version and the placement of the rebooted Fox version, with the colors of Krasinski's suit, that's what I want.
Okay.
And I'm biased because I like a darker blue as opposed to a lighter blue. Okay. So that's my ideal Fantastic Four suit.
Okay.
Is all matter. Or maybe like you shift the placement a bit lower, so it's like more because it was kind of like near like more up the chest. So I'll probably do it down low. That was only a critique, but
I think we're gonna see a new suit anyway because every Marvel film, every character like gets a new suit the next film. So I wouldn't expect that to be the one we see them all come together. But I'm excited to see what's going to end up happening because no matter who is cast as Wolverine, no matter when Storm is introduced, like I'm just glad that we're going to be able to see X-Men done the right way now.
Yeah.
That's the only, and I do want to see Giancarlo Esposito as Magneto, but I don't think that's going to happen.
I want him so bad. I know he plays the villain and everything, but I want him so.
He plays a great villain.
Crush it, bro. I've said it for the longest time. If you I've been in agreement with someone else who said it, but like literally, instead of his background being the Holocaust, you make his background the Rwandan genocide.
And that makes complete sense.
Because you know what I mean? Sense. And we're not comparing and contrasting what's worse than the other, right? Both of them is equally bad, but they still have they still maintain the same themes that work for the character.
So he and Charles were childhood friends. So Charles would come from Rwanda as well, then.
I'm not even sure how did they meet?
I think it
wasn't like
it was in the camp.
I don't even remember actually.
If I'm not mistaken.
Oh yeah, isn't that the opening scene of one of did they?
I think so. I thought they were childhood friends.
If if that's the case, they can either have Charles grow up in Rwanda, or he can be maybe a reporter, or like the son of a reporter, like visiting the country. But then again, which reporter would
I
bring their
actually
son
like
to
that.
a,
Because
that way
Charles, he
yeah.
comes from money, right?
Yeah,
I
I
thought
think
his
so.
background was he had money.
I
Yeah.
think so.
So he
Yeah.
could
There's
have
money
grown
in
up in.
Africa. There's money in Rwanda. They could do that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
I can
That
definitely
too.
see that
Yeah.
working. Being like a diplomat or something, like I can see that. I can make that work.
I like that.
I do too.
And then like you can just like
You just keep the same.
Wakanda's right there, so it could bode well that he's from Wakanda if you wanted to say that too.
And they're very, very eager to drop Wakanda, anything Wakanda in all new Marvel projects, all
Yes,
new X,
yes.
anything. So I'm sure they would eat that up. They would love that.
That would be interesting.
All right,
Okay. All right.
now we
man.
gotta send this episode to somebody.
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah.
I
No,
like
that'd be great. But yeah, maybe it's obviously wishful thinking, but if they by some miracle get him for that role, he's crushing it. I think I'll say it right now. He'll be better than Ian McKellen.
It wouldn't even shock me.
Undoubtedly,
It wouldn't even shock me.
He would overshadow
He
him
would
in a
kill
heartbeat.
that.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah.
Ian McKellen, you're fantastic.
Mhm.
Dean McCaver, or Michael Fassbender, you're fantastic.
Mhm.
He'll be the best one.
Oh, for sure.
He'll 100% be the best one.
Best
Because
iteration.
Michael Fassbender is already better than Ian McKellen. I think everyone agrees with that.
Yes.
You put Giancarlo, who's known for playing villains, in
Yeah.
that role, and you give him that writing,
Yeah.
you're
And he's with the MCU.
Yeah.
You know, that's he's not with Fox.
yeah. You have
I agree with that.
you had the foundation to make him literally one of the greatest Marvel characters. He already is one of the greatest Marvel characters.
Yeah.
You just have to give him the right material, he'll flourish. And
technically he's already with with Disney because he's in Star Wars. So
Mhm.
it's not that far fetched. But you would have to find a younger Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
You'd have to find a younger one because if I'm not mistaken, I think Esposito is like around 60.
Yeah, I think if anything, probably have it be more of a father-son dynamic
Between
opposed to
and Charles.
Yeah, as opposed to doing, because I know like they're basically brothers
Mm-hmm.
Since they first met each other or
Mhm.
became brothers. So I think if anything, just have it be like a father-son relationship. Maybe Charles
go that
lost his, yeah. If anything,
I'm not mad at that, man. I'm not mad at that. I really want to see. I just want to see the X-Men show up.
Yeah, better. Than,
Yeah, much better. Much better.
Yeah,
I
there's
need,
a lot
I need
of
Wolverine in his suit.
places they fell short.
Yeah.
I still can't get over Jennifer Lawrence as Mystique. It's just like a couple of places I think, okay, we talked about it, like Storm being less than.
Yeah.
Them killing Darwin, that was wild to me. Like, first of all, like, it even bothers me more knowing that he is such a great actor.
Yeah.
Like, he's come out with a lot of projects since then that I'm like, this is good. But yeah, they've done X-Men dirty a lot over the years. So I'm excited for something better.
Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice. Because I think it's time too.
Yeah.
Because you have a lot of guys that are about to be phased out anyway. Like they've already phased out Captain America. Well, Chris Evans, Iron Man's gone. So you need the new leaders. I'm fine with that. That'd be nice to see. Yeah.
Marvel's cranking out a lot of stuff.
They are.
I'm kind of excited for something.
Wait, who would play Dr. Doom?
I have Cillian Murphy as my number one choice.
Ooh.
Upset. Yeah, Cillian Murphy is my number one choice.
I love him.
I've watched one scene in Peaky Blinders, and I said his stare.
He's great.
Is exactly what you need from that character. All expression, no emotion, and if he can get away with what he does, like his eyes alone speaks emotions.
Mm-hmm.
If he can emote that through his mask, Dr. Doom's mask, over.
I like that. Okay. All right.
I had to look him up. I have not seen him in a whole lot of things, but I really do want to see more of him. So I would love
Watch
to see
anything that Christopher Nolan has done.
Yeah.
He's showing up. I don't know what their partnership is, but anything Christopher Nolan is working on, Cillian is on that cast. And
like, I don't want to have to watch Batman to see that nice man.
Yeah, he's been in. He's starring in Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
He was in Dunkirk, Inception, all the Batman movies.
Boo. He is very talented, though.
Yeah,
he's awesome.
Me too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that's gonna be. Are we good on this? Are we good on the news? Ready to get into the meat and potatoes of everything?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right. Well, we'll be right back, and we'll come back with the director's cut of Wes Anderson.
Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Dwayne from Past the Ox and Life's a Botch podcast. I'm coming to you with a real dope advertisement if you got a moment. Can we do that? Peep this. Yo, you tired of that uncomfortable feeling with your undergarments? You know what I'm talking about. Like, literally having to adjust so it gets real comfortable in between the, the real safe space. Or maybe just wedgies from just going underneath, you know what I mean? All that. Let's keep it in 100. Y'all know how I'm feeling. Y'all know how that feeling goes. Well, I want to introduce to you the ultimate solution coming from the #1 premium and fit athletic wear just for you. I'm talking about none other than Champ #1 Boxers. Champ #1 Boxers is a black-owned underwear brand, okay? They literally specify in giving you the most top-notch, high-quality, premium, adjustable and fittable and totally comfortable undergarment wear that is just for you. Not only is it something that you can wear, feel good in, feel confident in, and love, but it's also high quality, feels good, and most importantly, it is definitely fashionable, okay? Comes in a different, wide variety of so many different styles and themes to these undergarments, something to make you look good, feel good, and swag real good in the process, all right? So, again, did I get to mention that this is also a black-owned brand? It's a black-owned brand, y'all, so if nothing else, definitely go support that 100%. So, what I want to do is I want to tell you, head on over to OTS Media Co. on all social platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. If you go over, you click the link in the bios, it'll take you straight to the Champ #1 Boxers website. You can check out all their styles, you can check out their bundle deals, you can check out why this brand exists, what it's all about, and trust me when I say you do not want to miss out on the types of opportunities going on right now on the site. Champ #1 Boxers. Make sure you do it for the champ in your life if you ain't already doing it for yourself, champ. All right? Champ #1 Boxers. Make sure you go cop those. All right? All right.
So welcome back, y'all. This week on Director's Cut, I have brought back some order to a chaotic land. We are off of Christopher Nolan. We are back on to somebody of culture, of sophistication. We are spotlighting Wes Anderson, one of the great directors, filmmakers of our time, truly changing the game and the narrative, shaking things up, doing something different, and most importantly, not putting some man in a cape and a mask. Let's do it. Right on into it. I have seen tons of Wes Anderson movies. There are some great ones. Just rewatched Grand Budapest Hotel. I think, Matthew, did you say you watched that one?
That's
recently?
Right. That's
okay, so I don't know. Where do you guys want to dive in? Wes Anderson. They don't love him like I love him. Because no one's fighting or being blown up. Or...
yeah.
Let me ask you this real fast. Because you're saying he's one of the
prolific directors of our time.
Of our time. Okay, I want to make sure I'm getting that correct.
Damn, sorry.
He's about to be so messy.
Yeah, no, sorry. I didn't know if you meant that as a joke or like you were
No,
genuinely asking. No.
I'm
Yeah.
being legit.
Okay, no, I got you.
Because
No, I thought you were gonna say something like like not out of pocket, but like you're about to say, okay,
no, well, okay,
yeah.
so
My fault. You go ahead. You go ahead.
what I saw, because I just watched the French
Talent.
Dispatch. Okay. Director, as a director, I did not have a problem with the direction. Okay. However, I am intrigued to know if he is, and I don't want to go on a tangent, so let's reel me back in if that happens. But if you're saying he's one of the more prolific, who would you say are your top three right now?
Directors?
Yeah.
Ooh. Come back to me. Circle back.
Okay.
I
Because
will answer that at the end.
that's big. That's
Okay.
big. And I saw a lot of good stuff with this. I thought like the differences with the sets in
Yeah.
terms of like when they're going shot, like they were
Yeah.
telling a story. The story of French Dispatch was very
Yeah.
weird to me. That was
Yeah, it
very weird.
is.
I did
It's
not
look,
understand what I
he
was
is
getting into.
quirky. You're going to get
Yeah.
quirky from him. That's just
Well, he nailed
you
it.
know, yes.
He nailed it because I didn't realize this was like multiple
Yeah.
stories.
Right.
I'm thinking,
What is it called? An anthology? Yeah.
yeah, I'm thinking we're gonna get a primary story.
Yeah. And people don't like this one for that exact reason.
Yeah.
But I do think I think it was a good one to watch because you have seen every single one of those actors and actresses, but I bet you have never seen them quite like that.
Right.
Or
No,
maybe
for
you
sure.
have and you're just like, this is good. Like I loved Owen Wilson in that. Just you're still getting that same sort of flair, but you know it's something a little bit different. Same thing with like Tilda Swinton and a lot of the other people. What is the guy? I only know him as like Beatty from the Hunger Games. The guy at the end, black guy. He is also on a new show that just dropped too. Can't think of his name right now. It'll come to me, but I loved him as well too. Again, someone who I'd seen kind of in the same sort of roles and got to see him kind of be somebody else. But I legitimately love Wes Anderson.
What do you love about him?
I think it's different. I just think that when you get Wes Anderson, you know that you're going to get something quirky. You know that you're going to get something on that level. I also like that he uses the same actors and actresses. You're going to continue to see, Bill Murray, Tilda Swinton, Owen Wilson, both of the Wilsons, really. I like that. I think that that's something that's unique. I think the stories are good. I liked Grand Budapest. I love Moonrise Kingdom. I think the more that you dive into it, you kind of see his genius that's there. Like, for example, in which one? The French Dispatch. It took me a minute to understand that the reason why on one of the stories that it becomes animated is because it's the comic section of the newspaper. So that's why it's funny, and that's why it's because you have to remember this is a newspaper. You're supposed to be listening to like things like that. That it's like, okay, I didn't get that until the second. Yeah.
Okay,
exactly.
So this makes more sense.
It does.
This makes more sense.
It's a lot of his movies are worth a second or third watch because once you get over, first you might watch it and you're like, that was weird. Then you watch it again and you're like, okay. Then maybe you watch it one more time, you start to appreciate some of the cinematics that he's doing all in all.
Yeah, no, it was very artistic. I'll give it to him. That was extremely artistic.
Yeah, most of them shot on film or some variation.
The aspect ratio as well. You're not used to seeing that in modern day.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I love. I mean, the technicality of it.
Yeah,
I love the story itself. I was just like, because it's all over the place to me. I like a primary line that we're going on and building and developing on that. And it's just when you're constantly
bouncing.
stopping, that whole thing for me is kind of hard to get into the overall story. So
right, and some of them are shorter than others.
Now the Benicio del Toro story, that was my favorite. I will say that was my favorite.
Adrian Brody was hilarious.
Adrian Brody was amazing. Yeah. Now I'll give it, I'll give you all that. I like that. I like that.
If all you're complaining about is the story,
Yes,
you've got to admit
yes,
that that's
yes.
a good director.
Well, okay. So
Because think about it, he's another great director. You've got an amazing cast, and there are people, and he doesn't put out very many movies. I think he has a dozen movies, if that, not even.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of those people where if Bill Murray's not available, if Tilda's not available, and that's who he wants in the movie, he's not going to shoot the movie. And
Right.
so that's someone who really could just like carry a movie based off the cast, which we see done all the time. And he doesn't.
Mhm.
He's still going to give you a good story, going to give you a good shot. The fact that you could pause any of his movies at any point and get a beautiful shot, I love. I'll always love that.
Yeah. Nah, it was amazing in that sense. I'll give that to you. I'll give that to you.
It's definitely not for everybody. I definitely get that because it is very quirky. And then I don't know if you've seen any of his animated stuff, but Mr. Fox and what is it? Isle of Dogs, two other Mr. Fox, I think was great. Isle of Dogs, another one, again, quirky, kind of weird. George Clooney, I think, narrates that one.
Okay.
So it's different.
It is different. It is different. It is.
You're not getting action all necessarily. You're not getting, another dimension or another world. You're not getting. You really are just getting story. You're getting You're getting art. You're getting
And I'm fine with that. I don't need explosions to keep my attention. The only thing I will say is that the story was just all over the place. I'm just, like I said, I'm that one. I need that linear story. I need that development in that way. So if it is, in this movie, I think it was like an hour 40, somewhere in that range.
That sounds right.
So for that much time, I like the building process of characters. I like that. I don't like just jumping into something and then you're brought out like 10 minutes out. If it's known to be, see, of course, I don't watch trailers. So I set myself up.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't watch trailers. So I set myself up for failure with a lot of these different projects because I don't know what it's about.
Okay.
I follow production. I don't follow the trailers because I don't want anything ruined. I'm still
that has
pissed
happened
off.
to me too. Yeah.
Yeah. Iron Man 2 was probably the last film that I watched the trailer for prior. And it showed me way too much because I'm like, oh, this didn't happen. I don't like that part. Like I have a photographic memory. I'm going to remember every single thing from the trailer that has not taken place yet. And I'm like, well, yeah, this person's not dead because this took place in the trailer.
Okay.
So that's why for me, I just steer clear. And they show the whole film in 3 minutes anyway. So I don't like that. So I didn't know what I was getting into with this. So it took a second to dive in because I was sitting there. Okay. What is going on here?
Yeah, it is a lot. It's definitely not for everybody. I think that it was an interesting one to watch. I guess I didn't really think about that one. That it is a lot of stories put together that people might not love.
It did feel like a museum, though. I will tell you that. It felt like going to a museum.
Yeah, that's a nice way to put it.
I love going to museums. I love art museums.
That's a great way to put it.
But that's probably why the Benicio del Toro one, Moses, I forgot his last name, the character he played, but that's why his story was the most intriguing one to me because of the way they're talking about him painting with like different things in a jail. Like grease and stuff like that.
Yeah, turpentine and all that stuff.
Very interesting. Very interesting. But they're crazy as hell. Crazy as hell. Yeah. It was good. So I don't know much about Wes Anderson, to be completely honest. So I'm not familiar with his work like that. That's why I'm asking, what your interpretation is of him and also like where you would rank him because while I understand the directors don't have they're not writing the film. They're not writing the story, right? But your job, your objection is to enhance the story as much as possible. And I think my only gripe outside of the multiple stories in this film is I would have liked to have seen the common theme of he was the editor, right? Bill Murray played the editor.
Yes.
So I would like to have seen the common thread that connected all these stories.
Yeah.
I understand this is supposed to be a newspaper.
Mhm.
Now that I mean,
Yes.
I saw the placements and stuff like that, but it didn't
Right.
click to me that this was supposed to be like you're reading a newspaper.
Exactly.
But I would like to know, I would like to have felt what that thread was. To me, that would have enhanced the story to where I'm like, oh, okay, so they're
Right.
talking about XYZ. We're just going through. That's probably my only other gripe.
I can see that.
Yeah. But outside of that, it's not, it's you know, it's good. It's good. I'm not watching it again though.
Okay, is that the only one you've ever seen?
I was just looking at the stuff. I think so.
It might be. I wouldn't be surprised. Like I said, he
Yeah.
only has a few more. Until I was looking through the list, I forgot I saw the Royal Tannenbaums, one of his earlier works, with Ben Stiller. Both of the Wilsons, I think, are in it. That one was good.
I did.
Not everybody liked that one. I did like that one. I forgot about that one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember this movie.
Apparently, he's gonna put out some stuff. He's got a movie coming out on Netflix. So yeah, and doesn't have a date attached to it yet. But I'm interested to see. I'm sorry.
Is it Asteroid City?
That's one of them.
Yeah.
And then the other one is The Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar.
Okay.
Yeah.
And those are both going on Netflix?
Yes.
Okay.
So very interesting to see because, he's had 20th Century Fox and, Sony behind him. And so Netflix has a lot of money. Netflix is creating some ground shaking things. So I'm interested to see what somebody with his vision and his sort of style is going to look like on Netflix.
Oh, that's a big cast.
Yeah.
It's hard to direct a big cast. I will say that's one thing that I will give him props for as well is when you have a huge cast, it's not easy to get everybody the spotlight because you have big names. Everybody feels, everybody in Hollywood has an ego, right? So it's hard to balance everybody's ego. With this new film you're talking about, Asteroid City, Margot Robbie, Tom Hanks, Bryan Cranston, Tilda Swinton, Adrian Brody, Liev Schreiber, Bill Murray, Jeffrey Wright. Like
all
that's
his
a
favorite.
lot of guys. That's a lot of names right there.
That's what he does,
Scarlett
though.
Johansson.
That's what he does. Like that is not out of this cast is not out of the norm for Wes Anderson for sure.
That's a
to have young and old, to have people that you've seen over and over again, to people who are newcomers who you're interested to see what they bring. Yes, and he's able to do it and still able to bring out talent from all of those people. Like I said, I love how he uses Tilda Swinton. I love how he uses Adrian Brody. Those are two people who I'm like, oh man, like I don't think I would have originally given them this role, but it's good. I like it. Yes.
Yeah, I did like Timothy Chalamet as well. I didn't understand the story, but I enjoyed.
I had to watch that one twice as well. Like I really pay attention to that one when I watched it again because that one was one that moved kind of quick and had a lot.
It did.
But even I think the girl who played alongside him, who was his love interest in that story, she did a really good job. And I think she's now in the Wes Anderson universe. Now I think she's now going to be a part of it because she did he just appreciates, it's the same thing that, Dick Wolf uses the same people over and over again, Shonda Rhimes, like there is something to be said about, directors who just enjoy using the same producers who enjoy using the same people because they know whether it be the quality of work that they have or like you said, everybody has a ego. So maybe these are a group of people who don't,
Yeah, that's a good.
I could see Tom Hanks. I could see Bill Murray being like, do I have a trailer? Sure, okay. Just don't get over to craft services. Like I don't see them being big, headaches and things like that. So
Yeah. No, I mean, I think it's interesting. But I'm this was hard to watch.
If you listen, if okay, I'm no, I don't know if you like Moonrise Kingdom. Matt, did you like Grand Budapest? I don't. I hate y'all so much. The two of y'all can just.
It was an experience.
These.
Look,
I don't like this.
I will praise Wes's editing techniques, specifically how all of his shots are symmetrical.
Yes.
Yeah. I think there's something like undeniably great about how he tries to capture as much as he can in a single frame, rather than relying on constant cuts. And even at the times that he does, like I think really the only instances where he does like cuts within a scene are just reverse shots, but the shots themselves are again symmetrical, so nothing is ever felt handheld or so his filmmaking is nothing short of amazing. But when you pair his filmmaking with stories that I don't find emotionally engaging, then it makes it hard. Like there's only so much you can do as a director to enhance the story. But when your story is depthless, like the Grand Budapest Hotel, because I found absolutely nothing compelling about the story. Now, I'll stop there because B, is obviously a huge fan of Wes. Has probably watched the Grand Budapest like way more than I ever have. So
yes,
feel free to criticize what I said. I just like nothing about that movie screamed spectacular to me. I was left confused of why I watched it. Like I don't know
you
like
all
what.
Suck. Stories, I will give that to you all. The stories are not always for everybody. I think that I'm very much invested in him and how beautifully it's shot and all of that I do feel like sometimes the stories fall short, but at the same time there are tons of movies that are exactly the opposite, where it's just like the story was good but man they just rushed it, or it wasn't this, they didn't shoot it well, or why did they make this decision. So I feel like maybe when I watch his it's like refreshing because the stories in my opinion aren't bad. I don't think anything about his movies are like bad. I don't ever watch it and I'm like, I don't like that cast. I don't like the color. I don't like I'm just like, it might, the story could have been a little bit better, but it's not like when where there's just huge holes that you can blow in it. Like you could a lot of other, there's just not that. And I think that that's refreshing. Now you gotta give him like at least a 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5 on almost everything,
I would say I would love to see him team up with a writer that has depth. So if you teamed him up with like a Jonathan Nolan,
look how y'all, nobody want them Nolan boy stories.
Watch Westworld. Watch Westworld. That's what I'm saying. Like,
I heard Westworld.
Yeah, the story development is phenomenal.
Yeah, there isn't just like an identifiable trait for his movies. Like they're just movies.
That's the cast.
You know what I mean?
I think the cast is the identifiable trait.
And that's a problem. Like if I don't know, and if I don't know a movie is good or bad, like that's a problem. Like you know what I mean? Like I watched Grand Budapest. I'm like, yeah, I like certain parts of it, but I don't like certain parts of it. Like I don't sway one. Like it's one of the few times, like literally, I can't. I didn't even rate the movie. I just viewed it as like this felt like a fever dream for an hour and 30 minutes. And again, like I'm not disrespecting him. I'm not gonna sit around and act like I'll ever be a better director than Wes Anderson, because what he accomplishes on film, because I'm assuming he shoots on film. It certainly looks like he shoots on film. Shot on film for Grand Budapest. Like things like that are immaculate. But then it's similar to where Derrick's complaints are held. And I'm assuming it's probably a worse case for French Dispatch when you're focusing on multiple stories at once. If I'm feeling that way about a single story, like I said, I can imagine how Derrick was feeling when they're focusing on
multiple.
more, so that's why like I don't want to like be like say he's outlandishly bad or that he's like like one of the best directors ever. It's just I don't know. I'd have to watch more movies of his to see if my opinion changes, but I don't know. It was just a movie. Like I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird. But I'm glad I watched it though, so I have like something different up my sleeve.
Yeah, I definitely think it's something different. He's not one of those directors that's putting out tons and tons of stuff. So it's not like you're going to get burdened with a Wes Anderson necessarily every year or something like that. It's one of those movies where it's like, oh, Wes has a movie out. What type of quirky, little story are we going to get into now? Maybe like a palate cleanser.
Yeah, I think it's it's definitely different than what you're used to from like other directors. I know I want to see him paired with a writer. Like give me even like Jordan Peele. Like if he paired with like Jordan Peele.
Oh my god, that'd be so trippy.
Now that would make a little more sense, right? Because their styles are pretty similar in terms of that quirkiness a little bit and
yeah, but Wes Anderson is so upbeat. Like imagine like like the sound. I'm just imagining like a horror with the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Like
well, hey, that would be a good circus movie.
I mean, yeah.
That'd be a really good circus film.
Yeah.
I would love to see something like that because I think for what he had to do with this film, with directing and developing like that, I thought his part was done very well. The story was just it was shallow. The stories were shallow to me.
I thought it was so different. I loved it. I think it's one of those stories that you can like, I don't know, it allows you to invest in a character in these extended and shortened, just depending amount of times. That is something different for sure. Where it's interesting that like you have these characters that it doesn't all necessarily tie up in a nice bow. But when you think about it, that's exactly how the newspaper is. The newspaper isn't a story. It's not meant to all go together. When you read it, you really are. You turn the page, you're getting lifestyle. You turn the page, you're getting comics, then you're getting food reviews. So that sort of disheveled all over the place is exactly how it's supposed to sort of play out. And I think that elements like that, you can say the same thing about Christopher Nolan. We talked about it like when you watched Inception, okay? The first time you watched it, you were like, what did I just watch? I get it. I know what I'm supposed to. Then you watch it another time and you're like, oh, okay, now I'm picking up on the foreshadowing. So it's sort of like one of those things where it's like maybe as you sort of think about what the director was really thinking, it allows you to sort of appreciate the story more.
That's a good way to put it. I guess because it's shot in the style of a newspaper.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Right.
That makes more sense.
But I could definitely see how it's like you're all over the place, especially because some of it's shot in black and white, which he's good about too. He's going to do that in almost all of his films. I like seeing the differences in black and white versus color. The color popped exactly
in this film. So I thought that was masterful. Loved it. I don't have a problem with that at all.
It's shots are gorgeous, like long hallway shots that you're gonna get. Just beautiful, images and like little quirky like scenes of them running. Like the camera work is definitely there.
Yeah, I all I need is just a consistent story. That's all. Like that's if I knew I was going.
Any of them do. Like I'm looking through them and I'm like, I can't think of one where I'm like, okay, start to finish, this was a story where you're getting invested in all of the characters. They're not all like that. They all kind of are like weird fever dreams.
Okay, so what was that animated film he did?
The Isle of Dogs.
Yeah.
And Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Fantastic Mr. Fox
which was a great movie, but I cannot remember what it's about. Like I watched it when it first came out.
Okay.
Yeah, in 2009.
I think it's on Disney Plus now.
I think so too.
Weirdly enough. So I was looking through the other day and I was like, It's an odd selection, but you know.
Okay, I'll watch that. I'm gonna watch
Yeah.
that because I can't imagine that his film does that for a child's movie.
It's not a kids movie.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
there we
yeah.
go. I thought this was
It's
this is
rated
not-
as
No.
such, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't define it as a kids movie. Could you bring your kids? Sure, bring little Timmy, but like I don't think it's
Yeah, I don't think if they're looking
Yeah.
for
Okay.
like a giddy adventure. I don't think they'll be getting that. Yeah.
Okay, then never mind. Never mind. I thought this was because I only saw one picture. But I'm looking at it differently now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna watch it. I'm
Yeah.
gonna watch it just so I can see.
Grand Budapest made a lot of money. It was budgeted at 25 million and it made 172.9 at box office.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Was Anderson buy those tickets or no? I'm joking. I'm joking. I'm joking around. No, that's awesome though.
Boo.
I'm joking. No, that's great though because you because I think a lot of Fox Searchlight movies, anyways, if it's a Fox Searchlight movie, they tend to just have like limited theater releases.
Yeah.
So the odds of them making, I'm sorry, I'm kind of like leaning back in my chair. So the odds of them making millions are like slim to none most of the time. So it's nice to see. I'll put it this way: like a Wes Anderson would probably be someone I go to the movies for because there's no one else like him.
Yeah.
And I think in the realm of like I think we've talked about this many times before, in the realm of superhero movies, all these different franchises, it's refreshing to see someone who is not afraid to stick to their style, even though cinema is definitely leaning in a much, leaning in a different way than it has than it was years ago. So I appreciate that part to him. And well, is there a chance I'll never like a film of his? Probably. There's also a great chance I will like a film of his because just because I don't like one doesn't mean that the rest of his are on the same level.
Yeah.
Asteroid City is written, directed, and produced by Wes.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well,
I will be watching that. That's going to tell me a lot right there. If he's writing the story.
Let's see. And let's see. The Wonderful. Yeah, this one, the other one looks like it's based off of this one was written and directed by him too.
All right. Wes got two
screenplay by him.
shots. All right.
All right. Wes, maybe I will turn up. Oh, it's on Netflix, so I don't have to turn up anywhere. I just have to, put Netflix on my screen, and then I'll find the movie.
I think you guys are going to be very unhappy because I unfortunately think that our boy Wes is writing and directing and producing all of his things already.
Oh, well, I think it's reached a point where I feel like we've done one and think we can go for another.
He's writing his work. He wrote The Grand Budapest. He wrote French Dispatch. Yeah, he is. This is him. It's all, which I feel like I knew.
Okay.
I think I had an idea of that. Yeah. I mean, he's definitely having some other people come in, but
all right. Well, see,
it explains why we're getting a lot of the same, feeling of no story aimlessness. I guess that's his vibe.
That's his thing right there, and that's perfectly fine, I guess. It's just
look, Christopher Nolan loves messing with our brains. Everyone's got their thing.
And Tyler Perry is a huge writer of his stuff too. That's not the greatest thing. See what would happen if he had more writers in his room. You know what I'm saying? We would have.
Look, I'm for it.
Projects,
I feel like a lot of writers in general are just like pretentious douchebags because they're kind of like, well, all due respect, like I feel like a lot of them just like have a vibe to them. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit too rough. I know,
some that I know aren't like that, but when you're talking about Hollywood, possible.
Yeah, I'm leaning more toward Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood is possible. Yeah, especially when you've been in there for so long. I don't know. This is interesting. So, okay. Are you ready for your ranking then?
Yes.
because I'm highly intrigued to see where you would rank Wes Anderson today of today's generation of
Okay.
directors, not all the time.
And your response might might upset both of us. Okay.
I'm legitimately just curious.
Yeah.
I don't even know who my list is right now.
Yeah, I don't know who my list is either.
But just like the top three, who are like your go-to guys out now?
I'm trying to just think of movies that I love and kind of think about it that way.
Okay.
But that's not like a really great way to do it, because I feel like then I'm just gonna get these like random people.
It's not a bad way to do
I
it.
like Tim Burton.
Do you?
I'm a Tim Burton. I loved Edward Scissorhands. Did he? Yeah, and a lot of animated things, Nightmare Before Christmas, all that. You can. I'm down with Tim Burton. Did he do Johnny Depp, Helen, Sweeney Todd?
Sweeney Todd, I think.
Yeah.
Tim Burton, Sweeney Todd. I like Tim Burton.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Tim Burton's up there for me. I like James Cameron.
Okay.
Because it's like freaking Avatar.
Yeah.
If you're gonna if we're gonna talk about like movies where it's like I like the director, I like the way that it works, I like the way that it flows, I'm appreciative of this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with James Cameron as well.
Okay. And then you're throwing Wes in there.
I'm definitely gonna throw Wes in there. Yeah.
Okay.
I know I'm forgetting. Like, there's just people I know I'm not thinking of.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to think off the top of your head because I similar to you, B. I think of movies, as just like what they are. Like, I don't consider. Most of the time, like, I don't consider directors unless I had that knowledge. You know, I feel you there because a lot of movies I straight up watched without even looking who did them. And then like years later, I'll find out, hey, did you know Martin Scorsese directed that? I'm like, what?
Right.
Really? Like,
and maybe that's why I like Wes Anderson so much, because I'm like, every time I watch one of his movies, everything from like, and I guess he's just been spacing them out in my life. Like Grand Budapest was like 2009, and there's like The French Dispatch was 2021. So it's like every time I watch something, I'm like, I like this, and it kind of made me do the connection.
Okay.
So I think that's why I'm like such a fan of his. I do it much more with music than I think with television and film. Like I love producers. Like if you ask me, name your top 3 producers, I could do that all day long. For movies, I don't know if it's because there's just the names that you keep hearing about, you know, the Christopher Nolans, the Scorsese's, and all of that, you know. But I'm sure there's some people. And then there's also like who's doing all of the, what is it, A24? Who's doing producing? Like I like their mood, like, you know, I like them as a production company. Yeah. But it's not always the same people produce, you know. Yeah. I liked I didn't like the movie with what's the one? And it's just the 3 of them in the house. Jason
Statham?
Is that, and he's the robber.
Yeah.
I didn't like that movie. Like the plot was, I didn't love, but I loved the way it was shot.
Yeah. Like A24?
Yeah. I mean, is that not an A24 film? Am I making that up? Maybe.
No, yeah. Honestly, I'm just surprised like Jason Statham would like star in a project like that. Cause I'm so used to him being in like action movies.
Mm-hmm.
I know. Maybe I am completely making that up.
No, you're all good. You're all good. I can try to look it up.
But yeah, okay, great example. Popular A24 movies, some great ones that, you know, ones that we watch. I think we all said Spiderhead, not the best movie as far as plot, but we all thought like, you know, wasn't shot terribly. Bridge to Terabithia.
I love that book, but I never saw the movie.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, A24 is interesting to me because they have great movies.
They do. Now, what am I thinking of then?
But that one movie, Midsummer, did you ever see that?
Mm-mm.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. That and I think I saw Hereditary. If I'm remembering that one correctly.
Hereditary sounds familiar.
Those were just that wasn't it for me. But overall, what I've seen with A24 has been phenomenal.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of just like what are some like movies that I love. Oh, who shot Arrival?
Oh, Denis Villeneuve.
What'd you say?
Denis Villeneuve.
No, wait. Oh, okay, yeah. Who was like?
Yeah, he
great
directed
movie.
it.
Love that movie. Like I'm trying to think like what else did he do?
Oh, he did Sicario, Prisoners, the new Dune movie. I forgot his foreign feature. I can't think what else. He did.
So
Enemy.
see, he hasn't even done that much stuff.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So it's just like there are tons of like movies that I like where I'm like the producers are not just producing or directors are not directing a lot of stuff that might make them, as recognizable as some of the names that, you throw out.
So you're going with Tim Burton.
I think with Tim Burton. Who else did I say? I forgot who I said. I think I said Tim Burton.
James Cameron.
Yeah.
And Wes Anderson. That's
yes.
Okay. I get that. Tim Burton's style is always weird to me.
I like a weird style.
I can see that. I'm seeing the connection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the one director who will never be the same again, and that's Ridley Scott. I don't think he's made a good movie for like 15 years.
It's been a while.
Honestly, I think the only exception you can make is probably The Last Duel, but even that I've heard mixed reviews.
That movie was not good, and I
was it
don't
not?
know why. Like, it was just a lot. Like, again, a movie you could tell that relied too much on the cast.
Yeah, I didn't watch that one.
Yeah, that was a weird one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but Ridley Scott was that guy.
He was, yeah.
He was. I mean, he made Gladiator.
Yeah.
The first Alien. I don't.
Yep.
That's something I don't
Blade
understand.
Runner.
How do you go from
Pompeii.
how do you go from Alien to House of Gucci? I will never understand that.
They put so much on House again because of like the cast. That was a movie where they put so much on the cast, and the story could have been so much better. I do like Lady Gaga though, as an actress.
Yeah. She's good.
I think if I were to do director, like my favorite director, I don't even think I could choose one. That's difficult.
Wait.
Really difficult.
Okay. Ridley Scott is that man, is that dude. He's also done a lot of TV.
Yeah.
Lots of TV series.
In his Ridley Scott in his prime, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're talking about Ridley Scott. Probably once he hit, like, I think probably after Gladiator, is when he went down for some reason.
Yeah.
Or it just wasn't, or his movies just weren't hitting the same. Because I can't think of what he made like right after Gladiator, but I'm just like throwing out an example off the top of my head.
So much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gladiator, he was 2000.
Yeah. I mean, like, you have The Martian.
Yeah.
Like,
Black Hawk Down.
Is that a decent one? He made a Robin Hood. Oh, he made American Gangster. All right. Yeah.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. I'll hold up my tongue.
I was gonna say,
yeah, that was actually
he's done a lot of stuff. American Gangster, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but a lot of his movies just aren't like that's the thing though, is that like I feel like a lot of his movies are like I don't even know. Like they're at the crossroads of good to they're just like forgettable and good.
Didn't he do Prometheus?
That's it,
Yes. No, he did Pompeii.
Yeah, because I think what was it he did? I remember he made Alien Covenant, and that was one of the like worst movies I ever watched, Alien Covenant. That
He
movie made
has-
no sense.
He has a lot of stuff in pre-production.
Oh,
A lot of
Gladiator
stuff.
2 is coming
Like
out?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11,
Yeah.
12, 13, 15, 20 plus
Yeah,
projects.
he's making Gladiator too, Derrick, in case you didn't know. Yeah. Apparently they're gonna have it's gonna be
Yeah.
set in your face. But yeah, I understand. Yeah. It's gonna be set in the afterlife. That's what I heard.
What?
Yeah. And that or
Yo,
that or
alright,
they
man.
yeah. That or he said it was gonna focus on his son, the son who died. So I don't know. I'm sorry.
All right, bro. That's it.
And there's an Alien TV series he's doing.
That I heard.
Okay, yeah.
Alien Covenant was because I'll be honest though. In fairness, that was the first Alien movie I watched.
Oh,
Alien
you didn't
Covenant.
watch the other ones?
Yeah, I didn't watch the other one, so that was me being stupid. So I was like, I'm bored. I'll watch it. What do I have to? I heard it's a prequel, and I forgot Prometheus came out before that,
Mhm.
which was was a prequel to that, but also a prequel. You know what I mean? I
Wait,
was
hold
like,
on. Prometheus was a prequel to Aliens Covenant.
so, well, it's set before, not a prequel, but
Okay.
Prometheus came out before. Yeah, so
It's-
so
it's
for
not the
me,
same
I looked
story.
at it
Yes,
as
it's the
like
same story.
yeah. So it
Okay.
goes Prometheus, Covenant, and then I guess the original like Alien trilogy. But I watched Covenant, and then
Oh,
that movie
Prometheus was
so
weird.
bad.
Prometheus was weird.
I
I
got
heard Prometheus
into
was bad.
I got
I
into
never
a
watched that.
little span where I watched like Prometheus, I watched Annihilation,
Mhm.
I watched Interstellar. Like I just got into a little
Yeah.
Oh, you
deep
went
dive
to a
into all
deep
these space
wormhole.
movies. Yeah, I
Jesus.
don't know what was going on.
Okay.
My friend,
Yeah,
a buddy of
Prometheus
mine,
is weird.
a buddy of mine watched Prometheus because he's a huge Alien fan. So I
Mhm.
asked him like I heard like Prometheus is what's it called, like it is like a very odd movie or whatever, and that like characters make very stupid decisions.
Yeah.
And I asked him like, is that true? Because I never watched it before, and he said, oh yeah, like for some reason, because I remember the opening scene is like those scientists go onto the planet,
Yeah.
and instead of like, and they touch this like alien thing
Yeah.
for no reason. Like, why would
Right.
you touch something on a
Like-
like, uninhabitable planet? That makes
Exactly.
no sense.
And it
If
just
they-
goes
if they-
downhill from there.
If they didn't, literally, that whole movie would have never happened.
Yeah.
If they just act smartly, and which is not to interact with this. Like, I forgot what it was. What is like that
Yeah.
face eater?
It
thing
was.
or whatever?
Oh,
Like an egg or something like that, right?
Oh yes, Prometheus was the one where they had all these eggs and then they thought that there was only one and then it opened up to the room and it shed light on it and it was like millions of them.
Yeah.
And then I think it ended up being, what was the twist? The twist was like one of the characters like who they thought was a robot like knew too much.
Mhm.
Like and he
Yeah.
it was
It was a random. It was.
It
it
was
was random. Everybody had too much confidence.
Mhm.
Everybody was
Yeah.
just like,
Especially
I
for
know what
being
I'm
on
doing
Netflix.
here.
The characters give birth
Yeah.
to an alien.
Again, I
I
watched.
don't remember that.
I
one.
watched this, Annihilation, Arrival. I watched them all. So I'm mixing up No, Arrival, they're smart. They take a lot of precautions and they never actually touch the little thingy thing. But I feel like there's one, and then Annihilation is the one where,
With Natalie Portman.
yeah, isn't that the one where the face gets eaten and then Oscar,
Oh,
what's his name?
I never watched them.
Okay.
I know
I
what you're
didn't
talking
see
about
that
though.
one.
I'm mixing the two of those up. I know that for a fact because it's both like monsters who they think are
That's what
very
Amy Adams is,
unassuming
isn't
and
No,
Arrival is
think of Arrival.
yes.
Arrival. Okay. Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And I remember, I know.
Arrival
Sorry,
is
guys.
a great movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say sorry, guys. I know we've gotten.
I know.
I know
on a
we're
tangent.
having a conversation, but no, it's like all this to say because like we're obviously huge fans of like movies and stuff, but then we talk about like directors,
Mhm.
and it's kind of like I feel this is an important conversation to have. It's just depressing when like you think the world of somebody or think the world of a director, right? They made like something like the greatest thing you'll ever see.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then they literally make something that makes you not want to watch movies again. That's how I felt after watching Alien Covenant. because I understand that it is my fault for not having watched any Alien movie prior. That's my. I want to take responsibility for that. Like, I'm not gonna get mad at the movie for being a prequel to something, right? They're not gonna like constantly reference the originals, but that movie was like. I'm trying to find like a night I'm gonna put it nicely. I'm trying to put it nicely. It's like someone was trying. You know what the best comparison I have is like it's like someone was studying for a test the night before,
Just crammed it.
and they put together like a quick presentation or something.
Yeah.
And they just like basically I don't know. It felt like a bunch of ideas. Like it felt like a post-it note, right? Of them like someone studying the night before, and they just put it in one movie. That's what it felt like. There was no like I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm not even gonna bother talking about it. I'm sorry. I know
haven't
I went
watched
on
it.
Cold Rant, but don't watch it.
I don't think I don't
It
know
will
if I watched
taint.
it either.
That made me not want to watch the Alien movies because I thought they were getting overhyped. Because I thought it would ruin the originals because I watched Covenant first. So I didn't want to go into that franchise now thinking, oh, well, I know exactly what they're referencing, and that's ruined for me because it was left up to interpretation. You know what I mean? Because I figure some aspects are going to be like that. But I'll probably forget it. You know,
that came out in I think the 80s. I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. It was
so
like God knows how long.
Oh
ago.
yeah.
Late 70s, early 80s.
79.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched those movies long ago. So
Wow, that movie grossed $1.9 billion.
Aliens is a big franchise.
Wow.
It is, which is why they did the newer one. But I didn't see the newer one, so I have nothing to reference it to.
They're saying that one's a Ridley Scott, James Cameron.
Yeah, because James Cameron directed the sequel.
Oh, okay, got it.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, I must be in the franchise. See?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Shoot, they probably would have made like. Honestly, that movie made a $1.9 billion.
I know, right?
God, that studio would have started saying TV show, 15 different movies. Come on,
right?
let's go.
Exactly.
Merchandise.
Exactly.
Let's step it up. Let's step it up.
Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, so they're all connected. It's Alien and Alien versus Predator and Prometheus. Like they're all part of the same series.
So
also,
I think
Prometheus is connected.
Yes.
Prometheus is connected.
Yeah.
Alien versus Predator isn't. I think that's just like that's like a separate canon. Well, actually, no.
No.
They're
Didn't
going
they?
against each other.
Didn't they?
They're in all the same arc.
Didn't in like Prometheus, they referenced Predator?
I don't remember
Because wasn't there like
I put
I
that
don't know
out of
if
my
I
head.
forgot. I thought it was either in Covenant or Prometheus. They like they showed the alien species like a skull.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was Prometheus.
Yeah.
That's what they did all
or
throughout
something like that.
I think that was the twist or whatever. That
Yes,
everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know much about that
I'm trying to
movie.
remember. Honestly,
That was a
neither
bad
do I.
movie.
I'm trying to remember it, but I didn't watch Prometheus. I didn't watch Prometheus, but I can't remember if that was in Covenant or not. But
yeah,
at least I had the confirmation.
I think if I'm going to give my
Yeah.
directors, Jordan Peele, James Cameron, and I'm gonna go ahead and say Christopher Nolan. Bump it, Christopher Nolan too. Those are my top 3 right now. I don't know why I was thinking Ava DuVernay had more stuff that I
Love her shows though.
But yeah, as a producer, she's amazing.
Man.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Yeah.
I thought she directed more. I think she's just now getting into directing.
Okay.
So,
yeah, I
was glad to
love
include her, but
Queen
yeah.
Sugar. You shot
still haven't seen that.
beautifully. Another show where I kid you not, pause it at any point. It's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be a gorgeous shot of us, of just Black people shot beautifully in every shade. It's just going to be, the land is beautiful. The scene, she does a really, really good job.
She does a phenomenal job with land.
Yeah, I actually would love to see her direct some more. Then like producing wise, there's just like, that's a whole nother ballgame because everyone's a producer. Like there's some of your favorite actors and actresses have produced like Kerry Washington is a phenomenal producer.
Shoot, LeBron James is a producer.
I know, right? Like it's like there's just everything. But I think what's nice is like producers, it's the conversation is worth talking about just because there's so many more women producing.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
the only reason
Yeah.
where it's just like you gotta talk about like a good silver lining. It's just like there's just so many more than there ever was before.
Yeah.
Which is always good. I would love that more for the director's space too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we could definitely get into that too, because I think
Yeah.
there's a lot to discuss with producing. Producing is such
Yeah.
a wide ranging conversation.
Definitely.
I don't think a lot of people understand what actually goes into that.
I know that I didn't
Yeah.
until I really got into it.
Yeah. LeBron just kind of throws his name on stuff.
Yeah,
I know.
think if I were to do my top 3, it'd be Martin Scorsese, Bill Hader. I know it's an interesting one.
That's a thrown out one.
And then Christopher Nolan.
Okay.
Bill Hader.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I love him. He's just the perfect amount of quirky, and if he turns his head just right, he's kind of hot. I am. I am pro.
You need him to turn his head at a specific angle just to talk to you.
I mean, just like
Yeah, I
Oh,
have
that's
said
hilarious.
time and time again, like Barry single-handedly made me
Yeah.
appreciate filmmaking.
I get it.
The way they utilize framing and blocking is among the best I've ever seen. Just the shots they pull off in a show, mind you,
Yeah.
it is
And that's
incredible.
HBO, right?
Yeah.
Always good.
In my opinion, one of the best shows out right now.
Is it still out?
Yeah, they're coming out
That's
with
what I thought.
Yeah, 4 seasons in production.
I'm gonna
Yeah, it is
start
in
it.
production.
I watched the first episode like on a plane, and I didn't really get into it like I wanted to. I think I'm gonna start that again.
Bill Hader, I think, is giving like one of the best performances on television
Yeah.
right now. He is like, I was telling Derrick this, and this is the last thing I'll as a conversation before we're in here. But like, I said to him that there's a moment in the second episode of season 3 where like I usually don't get scared like when it comes, not often, like I don't get scared when it comes like like too many horror movies,
Right.
horror games not so much, but when it comes to like movies, like I could tell most of the time. And then well, when it comes to like it's like sudden like emotional like releases or whatever, I don't know how to describe it.
Yeah.
Like someone getting mad, that kind of like throws me off. So like out of the blue, he started screaming, and it was like late at night, and I literally like I gulped because I was like laughing, and then like he was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, I stay quiet the entire time, so I leave it like that.
I definitely have to get back into that one.
Yeah, I'm gonna start it. I think I'm gonna try and start it this week. That's one he's been telling me about for I don't know how long now.
Yeah, like I said, I'll be so disappointed if none of you. I mean, your opinion is your opinion, but I'll be disappointed that if you two don't like it, because like that show is to me as, obviously you can insert your own examples of shows or movies who inspired you to either to get into filmmaking or just be fans of filmmaking in general.
The Wachowskis.
I'm sorry for
they got me into it. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sorry for Resurrections, but
yeah,
I'm not sorry that they got you into it.
That absolutely pissed me off. They could have kept that, but yeah, I mean, I should put them in my top as well, but I can't because I didn't see Cloud Atlas, and I didn't want to see it. Like, that did not strike me as interesting.
Is that the one with the polar bear?
I don't know. I know Halle Berry and Tom Hanks are in it though.
What am I thinking of?
I don't know. Coca-Cola.
No. No. Cloud Atlas absolutely does not have a polar bear in it. I have no clue what I'm thinking of.
Pretty sure that's Tom Hanks and Halle Berry.
Yes.
Yeah, they're in there. Yeah, I don't know why I just decided.
Yeah, why did I? What year did this come out?
I think I want to say 09. Somewhere in that range. 12.
No, 2012. And I was going to say that was a very saturated year for
That
TV
was
and film.
it was.
That was an extremely, that by the time I remember that was just being one where like I just didn't see it in the theater and I never circled back to it.
Yeah.
Like I remember, that was just, we got a lot of film that year.
Yeah.
I feel
that,
like
that was a nice year. That was a nice
right.
year. Sure.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, thank y'all for deep diving into the world of Wes Anderson with me, y'all haters.
I mean, you've made me think about it differently. I'll say that the film I did, and now I do think about it differently. Because I was impressed with what I saw visually.
Yeah, exactly.
I was impressed with what I saw visually, but the story, you gotta hook me. If you don't,
that's not what he's here to do.
I'm just sitting there, just like, dog, like, what is this? But I'm so glad you explained that cartoon thing though, because I was sitting there thinking about Tim Burton. I was like,
and you're like, that's just so quirky, but they're like, oh, that's the
like
comic
that,
section.
That makes sense. Yes.
Yeah.
And they made it in a comic-y way.
Exactly.
So I'm all right with that.
No, thank you for the recommendation, though. Like I said,
sure.
Awesome. I'm excited to see.
We appreciate it.
For sure.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But all right, I guess if all hearts and minds are clear, you guys go ahead and give your social medias, and we can get out of here.
Yeah. Did you want to go first, B?
I will. I am Southern and _spicy on Instagram and Durant No Kevin on Twitter.
Yeah.
When I realized what your handle was, like when you first did that, and I realized, I was like, oh, that was beautiful. That was.
It used to be Durant like Kevin, but he messed up my brand. He messed up the brand, right? Now he's Durant, no Kevin. And I always seem so like, I can't tell you guys how lame I feel like when I'm always like, what's the last name? I'm like Durant, and then I'm like Durant like Kevin, and they get it right every time.
Yeah.
I'm always like, but I used to be able to say Durant like Kevin, and then be like, follow me.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll change it back.
That's hilarious.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. So like I said, you always find me at Matt_T29. Yeah, Matt. I don't know why I doubted myself. That's where you can find me. Thank you guys as always for the support.
Yes, sir. You can follow me at Derrick_OTS. That's DERRICK. Black way to spell it. But more so, please follow the brand OTS Media Co. All social media platforms. We are on TikTok, and don't expect me to do a dance. If you're watching this on YouTube, you can that means you're on the OTS channel. So please, if you have not done so, please hit that like button on the videos, subscribe, and hit that notification bell whenever we post something. It feels like I haven't posted something in a very long time, but it's only been like a week. So we'll be getting some more content to you guys really soon. Fans will be coming back for another battle. It's supposed to be me as J. Cole and Chris as Kendrick Lamar. So that's going to be an uphill battle. I'm aware, but I am completely confident that J. Cole will take that. So please tune in. We will be posting up the information on where you can find that battle and when we're going to actually do it. So, but yeah, outside of that, please rate, review. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you guys want to hear us discuss. And thank you guys for watching and or listening. We will catch you guys next week. Take it easy, guys.